How's it going, guys? Cheers. Alrighty, today I'm back with another review. I'm doing another fragrance from Happyland Studio. Today I'm doing Blue Fire. Got the blue light going. So I have a 5 ml little decant here of this. I've talked about, my last review actually was on Happyland Signature. If you want to know a little more about that company, you go back and watch that one. I'll talk a little bit more about the company and everything like that. But in this one, let's just get right to it. This one is reviewed. I see it reviewed a decent amount. It's one that's talked about, and this one is, I would say maybe even a love it or hate it kind of fragrance. If you've seen some reviews on it, it's a very unique fragrance. It could be described as very weird, and not everybody really likes it. The people that like it really like it. The people that don't like it really do not like it, and say it smells like some very weird things. Well, I'll tell you right now, before I even spray it and get into it, I like this. I really do. But it's very unique. And I talked about before how this company is kind of, if to me, feels like a bit of like an artisanal kind of company where these fragrances are very unique and have a lot of character to them. And I think the things in this that people find off-putting, perhaps, are things that make me kind of almost fall in love with this fragrance because it's so unique. These are the things that I like about it and why I like it. So, to give a basic explanation of this, it's really hard to even do that, to be honest. If you were to just smell the cap, right? It almost smells like a fresh cologne. Like it almost smells like a fresh blue kind of summer cologne. But you can smell that there's something weird going on behind it. It's not quite your standard, like, aquatic style cologne. It's not like a cool water or, anything like that you would wear in that time of year, but you get a vibe of that. And what I think I smell underneath that is a little bit of strawberry. And I have the notes here on my computer. I'll read them at the end like I've done before. I kind of know what the notes are, but I'm not sure, so I'll give my explanation, and then at the end we'll read them. Might as well just spray this son of a bitch. As with all of these so far, I told you these decants were in pretty rough shape when I got them. I don't know if it's like that for everyone. Sprayers are fine though. And the actual full-size bottles, which come, I think, in 35 and 50 mil, have been reported to have like fire hose atomizers on them. These are perfume extracts or parfum extrait, however you want to say it. So they're extremely highly concentrated. They last a very, very long time. And even for that concentration, have insane projection for the most part. Like this is just... So the very first thing I get, a lot of talk, is a very weird note. The first time I smelled this, I couldn't put my finger on what it smelled like. It's very grassy. It smells like grass or like fresh cut grass or a plant material. Very, very natural smelling, but very strange. And I almost thought, you know what? That kind of smells like celery. Like it almost smells like fresh celery. I think that was because I've been juicing celery and drinking that a lot lately. So maybe that's why I thought that. But I still think it really does smell a bit like that. It's got a very herbal green note. It's very strange. You might not like that opening. I do, though. I'm going to look over here and cheat a little bit. But it is an herbal tea note. And if I go back and smell this, I can pick that up. It's not an herbal tea note in a kind of artificial way, like a tea kind of smell, like you'd maybe get in a candle or something. It's very true to like raw loose leaf tea, something that's very, I don't know, if like very herbal. I mean, obviously it says herbal tea, but like, I don't know, some kind of funky tea that, you don't get all the time or something like that. That's the best way I could describe it. It's very, very strange at the first spray. It might not be for everybody, but very quickly, thankfully, some of the other notes come in, and I start to smell that kind of tea note more like, oh yeah, okay, I can smell a bit of sweetness coming in, and then I think that's where the strawberry comes in, and I think that's the sweetness that I'm getting. I think the sweetness in this is, I mean, it's listed as strawberry. I never get like strawberries, like a sweet, creamy strawberry that you would associate with like a smoothie, or like maybe more of like a kind of floral almost kind of strawberry that you would get in some perfumes. It's just, I feel like it's raw. I guess that's the best way to describe this mostly throughout, is it's a very raw scent. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I'm describing this very well to you guys, but I do get strawberry. I do smell the sweetness from it, but it smells raw and like almost like tangy or sour. Like if you were to get like almost like very weird description, but frozen strawberries. If you buy those to put in your smoothies and stuff, those are like super like ripe and have like this almost sourness to them. So that's kind of what I get from that. And then the third thing comes in that I really start to get a lot of, which kind of tones this down from that very weird beginning, which I think is the iris root, which kind of lends, or what would you call it? Not iris root. It's on here. Um, Orris root. Sorry. I think they're the same. I think orris root is powdered root of the iris plant. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean orris root. I kind of enjoy sometimes in colognes, and it's a note that kind of almost gives a vibe rather than a smell, and you can smell it coming through, lending like a powdery vibe, almost a sort of creaminess. I know that's weird because I just said that the strawberries weren't very creamy, but I think this orris root comes in and starts to make it more powdery, and mixed with the sweetness, it kind of makes it less like raw and in your face. It tones it down and makes it more wearable. So smelling it right now, I got that powdery bit going on, a little bit of sweetness, and then that green note, that tea note, if you will, is kind of going in the background. It's this slightly sweet, powdery kind of green kind of thing. Very, very strange. But this variation that it's in right now is what I get from most of the scent. Really like a long time, like 8 or 9 hours probably, maybe even more than that. This is what I get. So that crazy opening doesn't last a very long time on me. This is one that you're definitely going to want to get probably a sample. You might not want to blind buy this one because it's so strange. Maybe that weird green opening lasts longer on you. But whatever, I like the green opening. I'm just kind of warning you as a reviewer. I want to let you know that that's really strange and you might not like it. So it's weird because this, it's unique and a bit fresh and sweet. But when I smell the cap, like I said earlier, it almost comes across like a blue aquatic almost in the cap. I think that's from, again, I'll cheat over here. It says that there's gin, liquid gin. And if I were to smell the cap thinking, that there's gin in here, I can almost pick up an alcoholic sort of note like gin. I think that's what lends it to be more that masculine kind of aquatic vibe. But when I spray it, I don't know if I really pick up gin. Maybe in the background very slightly, but not really. So I wish I could be more descriptive with this one. I know I've kind of gone off on some tangents. I wish I could really let you know what this smells like. But as I've said a million times already, this is just such a unique fragrance that, if any of this sounds interesting to you, check it out. But if you're not someone that likes to kind of take risks with something that might be a little bit strange or kind of funky almost, to be honest, I would skip this one. A couple people have said some things about this one that I thought were really interesting. I've seen numerous people all say that this kind of smells like cigarettes or like an ashtray, or it smells like somebody who's just sprayed something on themselves after they've come in after smoking. I mean, that's what those people smelled, so, that's what they smell. I don't get that at all. Like, I could almost maybe see why they smell that because, I don't know, the powdery, like, raw, earthy vibe that this gives off. But I don't smell cigarette smoke at all, even in the slightest. An ashtray, no. So I don't know. That's what some people said. I cannot smell that at all. This smells kind of nice. Yeah. So that's Blue Fire. As said before, I think I normally, projection wise, I'm not 100% sure. I don't really check the projection on these too much because I've been wearing them around my house. I would say it probably lasts like 3 hours of like good ass projection, like good, strong projection. But lasting power overall, I would say of the ones that I've been really trying out, this one is probably one of the stronger ones. For me, I can put this on in like the afternoon and wake up the next morning and still smell it a little bit on my skin. So it's another one that's like 12 hours, really no problem. But I'd say it probably lasts longer than that. Probably more like 14 hours or something on me. So when would this one be good to wear? I think all year round would be good. I think that kind of powdery vibe that it gives off a little bit, and it never comes across like baby powder. I want to point it out. It's not that kind of powder. Ooh, it's good. It's good. I know. Like I'm making it seem like it's not something you want to try. It really is a nice fragrance. It's just not anything I've ever really tried before, and I love that about it. That's another reason why I love this house. Yeah. Sorry. Seasons. Like I said, winter, fall. I think with that powdery vibe, it would work. And I think in the summer and the spring, it would work too. I think because of that weird bit of freshness it has and that little bit of sweetness would make it work. Although I could see this as one where maybe in the summer, if it's really hot and you're outside, it might become a bit, odd to wear with the powdery vibe, which kind of is, I think, the thing that ties this together. I said in Happyland Signature, I felt like the honey tied that together. I think it's like that orris root kind of iris smell that is like the secret ingredient in this. So yeah, that's basically it. Blue Fire. It's a nice one. It's gonna make you stand out for sure. I think probably if you don't overspray it, and I always do one spray with these, I think it probably would work as an office scent. I know it's a bit strange, but I don't know if it's one that's gonna really offend that many people. I think it's more of like a personal kind of thing because you're smelling it. And I also don't get anosmic to this one as much as I do Happyland Signature, so I get to smell the complexities of this throughout the duration that I'm wearing it. So that's basically it. It's another great fragrance from EJ. I'm going to keep going with this line. I can only make one review a week or so, but I'm trying to get them out for you guys. I hope you're all watching and enjoying. I don't know what I'm going to do next. If you have tried any of these fragrances in this line and you want to see me do one next, let me know because I have all of them. Or if you have any questions about them, let me know. EJ is EJ Wells, who is the founder and perfumer for this company, he's pretty active on social media, so maybe you'll bump into him. That's all for now. Also, let me know what you guys have been wearing, what you've been up to. All right, peace out.